G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today we are playing on Dry Arabia and we are witnessing two of the world's best players clash head on. And of course, you may have noticed it's a mirror. Now, before you jump down my throat and say, Drongo, why are you casting a mirror? They're so boring. If there's one mirror that's actually not that boring, it's probably this one. And part of the reason why is just because the civilization, well, technically you've got symmetrical civilizations. They're not really symmetrical. They're asymmetric because of the age ups. But anyway, look, we'll get into it. We'll see how they go. They might follow the meta. They may shift a little bit, maybe deviate a little bit. Let's introduce our players. Spawning in the north of the map in the color green, playing as the Knights Templar today as he scouts out the enemy town center. It's Lord Voldemort, aka Demu. And in the south side of the map, in the color purple, playing as the Knights Templar also, it's Crackety here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a caster game. A pleasure to have your company. If you're enjoying this Age of Empires 4 content, make sure you go ahead, hit that like button, that subscribe button, and ding the bell for the notification. You don't have to do that last one. Anyway, look what we've got here. Look what we've got here. Amongst the stealth forest, amongst the deer, the little small forest over here, and the wolf, we've got ourselves a proxy Rax. This is not something that you often see. This is incredibly rare. I would say this is probably 1 in 1,000. So you are about to witness something beautiful. Because on the other side of the map, Demu's just having a good old time. He's scouted out the enemy base. He's checked and seen, is there any Raxes in here? No Raxes in here. Just a nice standard game for us to all just do our standard things. Meanwhile, behind it, looks like he's probably going to be thinking about aging up shortly. We can see he's building up the gold, building up the food. But unfortunately, that won't be for very much longer, as his opponent has got units out on the map, 2 spearmen making their way towards the gold vein. And I'm curious to see whether or not this influences the decision of Demu and about which way he looks to age up. He does have enough gold to get on up, so he will be clicking up any second now. And he is going to be going into the Knights Hospitaller, so looking to gain access to the Hospitaller Knight. It's a pseudo meta-arms unit. I say pseudo meta-arms unit. It's a meta-arms unit that can heal. There you go. Let's do it that way. That's probably a little bit easier. But yes, no. I'm confident today's game will be a good one, if not a great one, because these two players are very closely matched. Demu is consistently top 5, top 10 on the ladder. Crackety here, top 20 on the ladder. Always a fun player to watch. We've watched him play many a games of Age of Empires 4. Infamously, one that made him install and never play Age of Empires again. Well, it was about 2 weeks that he didn't play Age of Empires 4, but it was quite notorious. Anyway, we've got an outpost that's beginning to come up, and have a look at how delayed this outpost is, by the way. Now, if we check in on the other side of the map, you'll see Crackety doesn't even have the age up in queue yet. There is nothing here that is indicating feudal age. Everything here is dark age at this stage. So 4 spears. He's also looking to put down the outpost. Hasn't done a whole lot of scouting on the other side of the enemy's base. So keep in mind there could be a gold mine over on the west side that just hasn't been discovered yet, and that's where Demu could be getting his gold from. Let's check in with Demu and see how he's doing, because the age up has come through. Going for the archery range. It makes sense to open up with the archers here, just simply because you're up against spears. You know what you're up against, so you need to counter those units. And the outpost is going to do a great job of just holding them back. Now, Demu can't see that there's an outpost here, but he can suspect. With the spears standing there like that, you can kind of see how the ground changes as well. He probably knows what's up. And speaking of outposts, it's not the only one that's going up. Second outpost down towards the south. We've got the Scout 3 Vills also getting pulled, looking to do a little bit of harassment. Spearman going to jostling for position here as this Pilgrim makes his way down towards the south. 108 gold on that bad boy, by the way. Second Spearman now coming through, and this is trouble. This is big trouble here for Demu, because he's already lost the gold. He knows that those spears have come through, and that's pretty much no-go land at this stage. But to the south of his base, he still thinks it's somewhat safe. Now, we do have the potential for a bunker bust, as I like to call it, to come through here. You can see that the Vil is going to be harassed by all the enemy villagers. He's gone down to 20 health here. Spearman going to be caught in the crossfire as well. Looks like he will be going down, and indeed Demu able to take this out, has spotted out the Rax as well and says, geez, that's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? But he's safe. He's safe for the moment. Now, fortunately, he's playing a civilization that, of course, you like gold. Gold's good, but you don't really need gold if you want to play the Knights Templar. You can play pretty effectively without it. Spear's now going to come through into this position, or rather, Archer's going to come through into this position. So realistically, oh my lord, have a look at this. So Crackety, while he didn't scout to the west of the enemy's base, he does know about the golds that are to the north of the enemy's base, and maybe this is part of what he was thinking. So normally when you're playing on Dry Arabia, you'll have 3 gold mines that are positioned around your base, and they spawn on different, I don't know the best way to say it, but basically think of like there's a circle around your town center, and somewhere along that circle, that gold vein is going to spawn, that first one. And then the second one, it's a little bit further out. And then the third one, it's a little bit further out. But typically, it's always going to be the same distance. It's just the direction that's going to be a question. Unfortunately for Demu here, every single one of his gold veins has spawned in the same direction. Compare that to his opponent, where you've got a lot more split. You've got the first gold vein to the back, the third gold vein out towards the west side. You've got another gold vein up here. You've also got a 4th gold vein in the back. But maybe Crackety's done the math and said, you know what? I reckon you don't have any gold over that side. So I'm confident parking up here, calling a little bit of a camp, and getting to it. So let's see exactly how he looks to transition here, because keep in mind, he's still in the first age, 6 minutes into this game, but he is now going to be transitioning into the second age. It's going to be the Principality of Antioch, so going to be looking for those classic throwing axemen that we've come to love. It's a bit of a love-hate relationship. There's some players who absolutely love them, and some people who don't. So I guess that's kind of what's cool about the Sergeant, because we've seen players like Faye just absolutely demolish people with only Sergeants. And some people just, yeah, not interested. But today, it seems like Crackety here is going to be interested in it. And that's part of sort of my emphasis a little bit earlier about the fact that Knights Templar mirrors are actually quite interesting, because while they're symmetrical civilizations, the decisions that they make are definitely not. So we've got a bit of a different unit complexity in here, and keep in mind that this unit complexity will vastly change the way that this game plays. Now, a little bit of an update, personal update. We're 7 minutes into this game, so I figured I might give it to you now. I'm currently standing at the sit-stand desk, and I've got a new water bottle. The new water bottle, it is a different design from the previous one. The previous one was a twist top. So basically, it had like a separate lid, and you would have to twist that lid off every single time. You couldn't pull the lid off, it was just twist. And if you wanted to put the lid back down, you'd have to twist it down. And it might not seem like a big deal, but when you're in the heat of the moment, it can make quite a bit of difference. Anyway, the one that I've got now, it's got like the little, just the small little sippy straw, and all I do is I just go, and that's it. I'm done. Nice and simple, and just one hand, my left hand. So I'm in love with it. It's an optimization that I found a little bit late into this YouTube game, but I'm glad that we got there in the end. Upgrades on the way through. Wheelbarrow together with Sanctuary now going to be coming through. Sanctuary on, rather the Safe Passage upgrade, the initial Sanctuary going to be coming through here for Crackety. So obviously not quite yet at the level, but take a look at this. It almost looks like the gold food situation could be potentially thinking about a castle age as well. Second, now in queue here, we can see the Sergeant is a relatively expensive unit. The archers here. The fortunate thing for this positioning is it's right next to the stealth forest, so he can basically just move units out directly from it. So you'll see here, Demi's going to have to be on the ball if he wants to actually get damage in, and you can see he does manage to get a little bit of damage in. Sergeant taps back, but off into the stealth forest he goes. And meanwhile, behind here, I'm still kind of questioning now as to whether or not there's an age up coming through. Is it just a miss macro? It could just be a miss macro that's happening. Sanctuary's now coming in, so maybe that's the difference. But even then, there's quite a few villages that are on wood, so it could be a little bit longer in the feudal age. And speaking of feudal age, something that we've missed completely, or at least I've missed, maybe you guys saw it on the minimap, a second TC now coming down for Demu. This is pretty big. This is massive. This means that if this is unchecked, it essentially means that Demu just wins the game through sheer economic force. So Crackety's got a couple of options about how he can play this. Number one, he can go for a tech advantage and then look to transition into a second TC afterwards. Number two, he can look to double down and try and attack Demu and then potentially kill the town center. Number three, he can just match it himself, so just spotting it out and then saying, oh, okay, I'll go for a second TC too. So normally what you see is a mix of everything. It could quite literally be anything here. So the big question is going to be about what is Crackety's knowledge, and Crackety's knowledge is, of course, 100% that he knows about the enemy TC because he's got active line of sight of it. And the Rax has now come down to the north. So I suspect Crackety might be looking to do a little bit of shenanigans today. This is the second Rax that's coming in. Also got the wolf nearby. Run, 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 run. Don't let me hear it. Dude, why are wolves still in the game? Can someone explain that to me? And don't just say to annoy civilian units that can't attack back, like the Pilgrim or the Monk. Or they're not even civilian units. They're religious units. But like, why? Just get rid of them. We don't need them anymore. And while we're at it, can we just get rid of that sound? Oh, that sound. That sounds. It's like fingers on a chalkboard for me. Anyway, let's get back to the action because. Demu, he's quite happy in the feudal age. We can see if we look at the resources, we might actually switch it over here. We're at the 10-minute mark, so we can do a bit of an eco check-in as he's got a 5-villager lead at this stage of the game, but he's quite happy playing it in the feudal age, and that makes total sense, right? You're going for a second TC, so you shouldn't be trying to double down in other areas, but just as I say that, he looks to put a fortress down in the center of the map, looking to secure up this sacred site to guarantee that he'll have that safe passage coming through. On top of that, it'll mean that his economy is also scaling in that direction. It also gives him a little bit of a defense, but at the end of the day, if Crackety wanted to come through and do some battering ram shenanigans, he totally could. And this is really not going to help that situation too much. I guess one factor that it will, help with is specifically the fact that it acts as a landmark, and it means that in the event that this one goes down, he's going to be able to fall back on this secondary landmark in the event that he needs to. 2 pilgrims marching their way out. Fortress is now up. I'm curious if Crackety has spotted this one out. We did see the scout nearby, and it has taken a little bit of damage here. Keep in mind they do heal over time, so you would expect that that scout probably had healed up to full health. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to assume that it did actually... Did it take damage? I suspect it probably took some damage from this scout here and that it's been spotted out. But we now start to see movement towards the south. That's actually one of my big complaints for Age of Empires 4 that we still don't have. And I would just say it right now, if the devs are listening, for Age of Empires 5, can we please make it so that, like, you can see what players see depending on, like, what their visibility is. Like, if their units have been in a location, they should be able to see everything that's been in there in the fog of war. I hate it, man. It's so tough for storytelling because it's like, we know that we don't know if Crackety's seen this. We know he's seen this part of the map, but when did he see it? What did he see? We don't know. We do not know. And it's just like one of my real big peeves that it still exists to this day, despite what, 5 years of Age of Empires 4? It's been a while. Anyway. Second town center, potentially under threat. I'm sure you can all see it right now as the battering rams come down. That's 2, and Demu, despite being 10 vills up, is going to have a difficult time. Oh, no. I'm thinking of that one meme right now. They're not doing it yet, but they will be doing it very soon. The one with the guy in the car, and he's looking at the girl in the car, and they're driving past each other. It's going to be that same sort of thing, but a bit more across map. First of the battering rams now out for Demu here, and he's none the wiser. I mean, he knows the outpost is towards the north. He still sees 4 units inside, so he's thinking he's absolutely fine, but now he sees that battering ram. Now, of course, Crackety's seen the battering ram. He was watching his enemy as he made the battering ram, and I think Crackety's probably taking a little bit of a bet right now, and that is that he can probably kill Demu faster than Demu can kill him, and I think he may be right. That's because there's 2 TCs here, so it basically means it's a second set of villagers that need to be trained up, that need to be spent on. Villager numbers are going down, though. It's taken out 6 already, and this is going to be the 7th. Probably going to get this 8th one as well, so quite a big amount of damage done and transitioning into farms. Crackety here at a bit of an awkward timing, but the first town center going to be going down absolutely insanely fast. Look how quick that was. We snapped back here after a couple seconds gone, and boy, oh boy, was it absolutely gone as well. Wow, that was quick. 4 battering rams are going to absolutely do that. Now, keep in mind, behind this, Demu's thinking, what am I going to do? Like, what do you actually do in this situation? Another fortress is going to be coming down. He's got a second one to the south. Now, keep in mind, when it comes to the Knights Templars, they are the scourge of Age of Empires 4 when it comes to doing this annoying strategy of not dying. It's one of the worst strategies you can do from the opposition's perspective. But basically, they can just keep making these annoying fortresses everywhere, wherever they want, as many as they like, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's whack-a-mole. And that's the game that Crackety here is going to be playing. As villagers do get chased away, we can see the villager count now really starting to build up here. Demu up 20 villagers in this game, doing a huge amount of damage to his opponent, and at the same time continuing to really, well, not continuing because the town center's dead, but getting some good value out of that second TC. Definitely. Has he bought himself enough space? Probably not, but still, it's decent. First town center is dead. Second town center about to be dead. And now behind this, Demu's got to stop, look, and listen. And he's got to think to himself, okay, where do we go from here? Do we look to rebuild this initial town center? Well, we're going to have to kill the enemy army if we want to do that. How do we play this? And now we see another fortress coming down. He's just spamming fortresses, and there doesn't seem to be a rhyme or a reason to it. He just seems to be dropping them down because he can afford to. He's got a whole bunch of vills on stone, on gold. He's really going for it right now. Look at this. He's not committed at all to making units. 13 archers, and he said that'll do. Oh no, Sergeant's now coming through. Vill's gonna get taken out. Number gonna start to fall here. Keep an eye on that one at the top, 54. Starting to get some good spread in. Crackety not 100% min-maxing where he could be, but still getting some good numbers in. Taking out 17 so far. 10 Vill difference between the two. And that's where it's gonna remain, about 8 Vills difference. And in the end, Crackety gets a huge villager hall, I guess we could call it, a villager hall. Sergeant's now moving around towards that top side, looking to cover these battering rams. First one has gone down, 3 remaining. And Demu holding on to his seat, holding on to his breath, holding on to his hat, holding on to everything at this stage of the game because, well, there's a lot going on in this game. And where are the Vills that he's looking to put this down with? Because has he just put this down and then just kind of left it? Or are they moving out? No, they are. I don't know if they're moving out anymore. Has he changed his mind? Maybe he's changed his mind. Oh no, it's these Vills right here. Okay, there we go. All right, they're coming across the map. All the way across the map just to grab this 1 gold. I like it. And it's not just gold. You got to remember, it's positioning. It's another landmark that Crackety's going to have to kill. And keep in mind, for Crackety to kill the landmarks, it's no easy task. There's a lot that's involved here because these archers, while there's only 13 of them, they're still annoying to deal with. 3 archery rangers coming up behind this as well. Crackety thinking about going Castle Age. Definitely a wise choice at this point. But where do you even go from here? Like, realistically, if we think about it out loud, how do you kill the Hydra? How do you kill that which cannot be killed? Do you go into something that can kill quickly? Do you focus on your economy? You've killed both of the town centers, so surely if you just dropped your own second town center, you should be able to go ham on the boom, right? Let's check in with Crackety and see what his thought process here is, because it looks like he might be giving away these battering rams. Behind the scenes, nothing's really changed. A few more farms have gone up. That age up about to come through. Let's see what he clicks for. Show me the money, Crackety. Republic of Genoa. Now, keep in mind when it comes to... Oh, he's changed it up. He's switched it. Kingdom of Castile. Oh, he's looking for a little bit of Genitor. Don't mind if I do. Now, keep in mind, Crackety doesn't have a single sacred site. Every single sacred site, every single sacred site has been controlled, or is currently in control by his opponent. And that's a little bit painful. That's a little bit painful, especially because the civilization that you're playing really tries to emphasize the religious aspect of it. But I think there's one saving grace here for Crackety, and that's, it feels like he's got a little bit of momentum. While his opponent has definitely been putting down plenty of fortresses across the map, he's been stalled out. Villager count almost even. Town center is slowly coming back up, but keep in mind, it only is able to train, it's only able to age up once it has been rebuilt. So now the Kingdom of Castile is online here for Crackety here. How does he look to transition into the Castle Age? I was about to call it the Fortress Age, because we're talking about fortresses. You got to forgive me. You got to forgive me. All the Age of Empires 3 guys are there like, yeah, Fortress Age, go Drongo, woo! Don't worry, I missed it too. You okay? Little bit of a fun history thing for you. Not history, but anyway, tidbit of information. For anybody who doesn't know, I used to play Age of Empires 3. I used to play it when I was really young, like 2007, I think it was, 2006, 2007. I was pretty good at the game. May have won a couple of world championships. And it turns out I actually kept my original box, and I was looking for it for so long I could never find it. But I actually just found it this last weekend that's gone. I found it. It was in a big box of stuff from my childhood. It was in, like, you know, there was cards from my mum and my sister and all my childhood friends. Republic of Genoa now coming through, by the way, and the second TC. Is Demu doing the build? Because this is kind of infamous. Anyway, so I just wanted to let you Age of Empires 3 folks know that was quite a nice little bit of nostalgia. It's still got everything in there except the first disc. Infamously, that disc did get snapped in half when I was having an argument with my mum. When I was about to turn 18, because I was spending too much time playing Age of Empires and not enough time on my assignments for school. Anyway. Oh my lord, look at this. Hold on. Oh my god, think about this. Oh, this is genius. Oh, this is genius. Demu knows. Okay. It's math. This is simple math right now. What Demu is doing. Demu knows the resources required that need to be invested to kill him and to kill his fortresses is significant. So significant that the amount of time that it would be required to gather those resources and then subsequently have the plan, that by the time you get there, he can actually beat you there. And how does he beat you there? He beats you there with town centers. We see 3 TCs coming up. I'm saying it right now. I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see another one. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another 2 town centers coming up. Because at the moment, there's 3 TCs. He knows he's got to catch up. He thinks he's behind. He probably thinks there's a second TC that's come out from Crackety, and Crackety's biding his time. But Crackety's just chilling right now. He's with John Cena. He's in the back of the limousine. He's not really doing much. He hasn't looked to pick up relics. He's obviously not able to contest any sacred sites at this stage of the game. There's gold in the back of the base, but realistically, there's not a whole lot going on between these. He's just looking to be a little bit silly. And we got to return back to that whole concept, that whole idea that, yeah, sure, you can take out these landmarks, but at the end of the day, what's it going to do? What's it going to achieve? The amount of resources you're investing to kill those landmarks outweighs the amount that was put down or put towards those landmarks in the first place. Trebuchets could be on the card here. Indeed they are. I didn't check the UI, but I just kind of suspected. Trebuchet, one of the good things about trebuchets, for anybody wondering, trebuchets are really good because unlike battering rams, which you kind of have to throw in towards the enemy and then they get killed and then that's it, you don't have anything left to show. Once you finish killing the enemy buildings, typically you've still got a trebuchet. So they're kind of like the gift that keeps on giving in that regard. But we can see the pilgrims getting hunted down. And of course, Crackety is going to be spotting out all these pilgrims here and thinking to himself, oh gosh, that is a lot. That is a lot. I've already killed two pilgrims and I see another 4 that are walking. That is a lot. 5, oh my God, I saw a 5th one right there. Yeah, he's thinking to himself, okay, that's a little bit concerning. More pilgrims now going to get taken out to the south side. Both of them making their way over towards this eastern sacred site. 3 battering rams. Veteran sergeants just chilling out on the relic for the moment. Look at the upgrades that are coming through for Demu here. A whole bunch of upgrades. He's looking for that boiling oil. Also looking to pick up the desert citadels. So, oh, unfortunate timing there. But I think the gold did actually go off. Trebs firing towards the town center. Now, if I will say it right now, I think the smartest thing that you could do if you're Crackety is go after the TCs. The trouble is you don't know about the TCs. You know about the 1 TC that's here. I don't know whether he knows about this. And see, we kind of go back to that thing that I was saying earlier where it's like we don't know what Crackety knows. Unless we watch him the entire time, we do not know what he knows. Other than what he currently sees 100%. Archer's able to take out that trebuchet. No more in queue for the moment. Sergeant's working it down slowly. Is he committing to the bit as well? We see 24. I just heard a sound, by the way. I think you guys would have heard that as well. My wife bought some like electronic photo frames and she's setting them all up and I think she's... Anyway, there was a notification that just went off behind the scenes. Speaking of behind the scenes, have a look at this. Battering rams taking out the castle or the fortress behind the scenes. But at the end of the day, the battering rams will go down and you'll be left with nothing to show for it. So Crackety really doing his best to try and keep Demu down, but Demu is just looking to maintain that presence. And now Sergeant Number looking quite healthy. 29 with 13 more in queue. How do you have 13 in queue? That is a lot of units in queue, my friend. You got to build some more production. Treb now firing off. I'd love to see a Manganello too. Look at the villagers getting pulled right here. He's going to look to try and siege the Trebs down with the villagers. And look at how quickly they look to assassinate these villagers. He's going to get huge value out of this. Treb immediately eviscerated. Villagers now moving up towards the north. He's going to throw a fortress down on top of the production. Demu says, hey, I got plenty of these where this came from, mate. We are absolutely good to go. But look at the villager count. Crackety is overtaking him and starting to really smoke him. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, this is terrible. Look at the villager count. It's falling significantly. He massively overestimated how quickly he could build this fortress. You are not playing the Chinese. He cancels, and the villagers now making their way towards the north of the map, but undoubtedly his head in his hands. He is walking away from this. What else? Tail between legs. Ville's now on the south side. He's doing it. He is really committing. I love that they're both committing so heavily to this. On one side, Demu's just like, I will build as many fortresses as I am legally allowed to build. And on the other side, Crackety says, I will build nothing other than sergeants. And that is it. That is the only unit I will build when an immovable object meets an immovable object. Oh, what is it? When it, I can't remember what it is. You'll have to excuse the early onset dementia. Which, by the way, I'm looking into. I'm having a CT scan next week and seeing a neurologist. So don't worry. I've heeded your advice. Thank you, guys. All right, market gonna get burned down here. You can see that Crackety's building up some numbers, and this is the other thing, right? There's a bit of an elephant in the room here when you're up against a strategy like this, in that if you don't deal with the sergeants, they are going to be a problem. Unless you don't have to worry about the sergeants because you don't look at the sergeants, and if you don't look at them, they can't hurt you. Think about it, like from the perspective of Demo. Yeah, you're not gonna kill me. You're not gonna kill me. 47 Vils, by the way. Something more is going back behind his siege workshop. He's going for the throat. He's going for the jugular. He says, you know what? I'm just gonna go for your town center. I know that you don't have any fortresses that are currently active, with the exception of this one, which is about to be active. It's not currently active, but you get the idea. So now he's put a whole bunch of fortresses across the map. What is this game? Can I just be real with you? What is this game? We are witnessing something stupendous. Is stupendous like stupid but also tremendous? Because in that case, then we are witnessing something stupendous. 3 sacred sites now taken. I don't know if that's too much of a problem here. I feel like it's going to be relatively easy. By the way, Demi picked up all 5 relics. So he's doing quite well in that regard. I'm gonna say I like this style that Demo is playing. I really like this style that Demo is playing, where he's just kind of everywhere, right? Like realistically, how do you deal with this? And I can't help but feel like, you know, going for your own town centers and going imp, and then just trying to kill it with fire is the only way to do it. But even then, like, how do you do it? I don't know what the answer is. It's such a frustrating strat. I don't want to shit talk Crackety, but maybe Marine Lord would have worked out how to beat it by now. But Crackety's just kind of like, I'm not even going to say he's fumbling, because there's nothing there to grasp. It just feels terrible from his perspective. And now Archers, together with the crossbows into the back line, Vilcount going to start moving a little bit more in favor of Demo. But you can see he was down significantly in this game. At the 27-minute mark, only 13 difference now. So he's managed to rebuild. By the way, have a look at the remnants of his base here. We've got 1 TC, 2 TCs. Everything else has been absolutely burned down. He does also have 3 sacred sites. Let's also include that. And now, sergeants around towards the west. Should be easily able to deal with this, I suspect. Look how quickly they demolish the siege. Springles, oh, nice little micro coming through from Crackety there. I like it, but he just annihilates the siege. It's not even close. And Demu undoubtedly heads back to the drawing board and says, okay, we had an idea. Hold on, this is the... Oh, no, it's not. I got excited. I thought it was the last landmark. It's not. He's just got a second one up as well towards the back of the base. He's feeling a little bit scared today. I would be feeling scared as well. I would definitely be feeling quite scared here. And now, double trebuchet, looking to close off these fortress. How many does he have? He's got 5 left to go. There's 1 more and then 1 on each sacred site, isn't there? There's definitely a world. I don't even know how to call this game. This is so far from what you expect to see in a game of Age of Empires 4, but that doesn't mean I don't love it. I absolutely love it. I think what is happening right now is hilarious, but at the same time, I'm confused. And don't hurt me, please. There's a lot going on right now. Okay, numbers continuing to build. Have a look at that military difference right now. Oh, that's a huge indicator. Now, keep in mind, that sacred site timer is ticking. 7 minutes and 20 seconds to go. But did you see how fast these sergeants blitz through these buildings? Look at this. They're throwing melee weapons, my friends. They burn it very quickly. And now, Crackety turns his attention to that sacred site in the south. And undoubtedly, it will be next on the chopping block. As the double treb, a million sergeant combo slowly works its way up. What is Demu's plan? How does Demu possibly win this? Maybe drops a market? Can I advocate for a market? Ooh. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, I thought he would have gone that route. I was thinking maybe you could try and, like, siege down these fortresses with horsemen? But that's not going to be the way. It really feels like it's just attrition now at this stage. And can I just also compliment Crackety on the choice of the sergeant? Because keep in mind, these fortresses have got boiling oil. And the boiling oil is only utilized on units that are close by. And because of that, the sergeants are able to effectively siege the enemy position without actually having that boiling oil put on them. Now, we do see more town centers coming up. This is, like, I would 100% be doing this. If I'm in Demu's position right now, I'm putting a town center in every single corner of the map. I'm just spamming town centers right now. Because it's one of those things where it's like, you just have to... It's not necessarily a Hail Mary, but the reality is you know how long it's going to take for these fortresses to go down. They're across the map, and you can just put another one down. That's the thing, right? Like, I can put a TC here, and I can just put a fortress right next to it, and there's nothing you can do about it. You're going to come kill it. And then by the time you kill that, I've put another one over on this side, and you're just like, you know, you're going back and forth trying to kill them. It's one of those things where it's just like, this is the design of the civilization, but this is the consequence of that, right? Like, it's just, it's painful when you're the protagonist, right? When you're the antagonist, it's wonderful. It's hilarious. To me, it kind of feels... Okay, another Age of Empires 3 reference. In Age of Empires 3, what you could do is, you could take a villager, and you could run that villager to the corner of the map. And the enemy had to find that villager and had to kill it. And then what you could do is actually run like 10 villagers to every single little spot that you could find on the map. It feels like that, doesn't it? It feels a little bit like that. But the thing is, and this is where it's different, he's still in with a chance. He's still in with a chance. Look at the military number is starting to look a little bit healthier here. And these are Templar brothers. That's the other thing that you got to remember. These are strong units that are coming out now. So that military number will continue to rise. He's up to 9 Templar brothers now. Chasing around all of the sergeants here in the center of the map, looking to clear them out. Wants to get that initial town center back up. You can see just a couple villagers together with a single monk watching over them, making sure they are doing the God's work, the Lord's work, and indeed they are. But now we've almost got a bit of a standard game that's beginning to unfold. Another fortress up towards the north. I still think right now, throw down more TCs. How many TCs are we on? We're still only on 2 TCs, maybe a third one coming up. How's Crackety going? Still no second town center for Crackety, by the way. Man, I just get way too hyped for town centers, dude. I'm just like, I see a town center and I just get super excited. Show me your town centers. Oh, sorry. That's an Australian... I mean, it's probably a global reference, but in Australia, especially in Canberra, which is where I hail from, we have this yearly event called the Summonats. I think it got cancelled. Anyway, I never actually went to it, but it always got a lot of coverage. It was basically where, imagine like all of the guys who like cars get together in a place, but it's not like the guys who like Ferraris. It's the guys who like, you know, hotted up, not even like Japanese cars. They're kind of, it's weird. It kind of like Australian cars. It's muscle cars, basically, is the best way to think about it. Anyway, not your brightest bunch. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, they have this classic saying that they say, show us your... I'm not going to complete it. But anyway, I was just, show us your town centers. That's where I was thinking. Okay, Crackety working it down, finding his way through. Now, one thing to note is that in Crackety's position, he's now able to start solidifying. He's able to start producing. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, it's going to be crossbows. So, looking to produce crossbows, spearmen, trying to find a way to combat these Templar brothers. Just keeping in mind the fact that sergeants don't do particularly well. Let's get that word out properly. So he's going to lose all of this production towards the north, and this has been a thorn in the side of Demu now for more than 30 minutes. So incredibly fortunate that it now finally gets cleaned up. 2 sacred sites, 5 relics, and a whole bunch of pilgrims. Demu, he's in a decent spot here. In fact, he's got the score lead by quite a bit, 1,300 on the score lead. Definitely hasn't felt that way in recent times. More Trebs now going to come out. Keep in mind the Trebuchet, great against buildings, not great against cavalry. Not great at all against cavalry. But we now hear, you can see 5 out of 10 at the moment, Crackety. 6 out of 10. There you go, Crackety. Only 4 more to go, brother. Now I think that's 3 more to go. Hold on. Hold on a minute. I can see 2 plus the OG town center. That's 3. But there's 2 here and 3. Oh, no, that's... Excuse me. You'll have to excuse me. That's the 3 that's important. I was a little bit... Excuse me. Okay, so for the moment, we're still sitting 3 TC for Demu. Crackety still yet to drop that second TC. And I wonder what his adversity is to this second TC. I would have thought, especially in a game like this, you know what? I'm just going to stop talking about TCs. I need to start selling shirts that say, I love TCs. Show us your TCs. Okay, I'm not going to do that. But anyway, Demu now has stabilized. At least, if we want to think about this from like an accusatory perspective, if we wanted to accuse somebody here of destabilizing the game, who would it be? Would it be the guy who built fortresses around the map, or would it be the guy who forced him to do it by proxying at the second minute of the game and building buildings behind his base? That is my question to you. Who is responsible for this mess? More importantly, who is going to clean it up? Templar brothers now looking very scary. And this is a huge mass that's coming through here for Demo. Able to clean up all the pilgrims. No gold for you, Crackety. Numbers looking quite decent, but we're going to draw back to that question. How are you going to take this guy out? Spears beginning to move forward. This is a decent mass. Definitely one that Demo doesn't want to mess with here. Now forced away from the gold vein. Sacred site has been lost. Cav now going to be moving down to the south side. Keep in mind, we still do have a number of fortresses that are up for Crackety, so he's not really in sniping distance. Still only the one TC. That's got to be my motto. Where the TC's at. More TCs towards the north side. Don't worry. If there's anybody who we want to look at their economy, it's Damage. Have a look at this. 91 now. 91 villages. Relic split, 2-3. When did he take the relics? I wasn't paying attention to that. I thought it was a 5-0 split and that there was no discussion further, but I was mistaken. All sacred sites now held. Pilgrim's gonna make it, but then this will be their last delivery. So he will get the gold here. But now back towards the top side. We do see the Trebs gonna be working their magic. Big army, exactly what Crackety needs to do at this stage. Just put the pedal to the metal. But as I've said many a time before, how do you know where all of the pedals are? 2. Got 3 to go. You know where 1 is. You know where 2 is. You know where 3 is. Actually, that's not 3. This is 3 over here. The main town center. It's been rebuilt. Templar brother behind the scenes, just being annoying. He's not going to be able to take out landmarks with this. And now Crackety's got himself a nice little. Crackety's got himself a nice little spot, but it looks like there may be trouble in paradise as Poland is now clicked up by Lord Demo himself. This is trouble. This is big trouble because immediately all this cavalry is going to get a huge bonus to its health. It's going to hit the elite buttons. And then, of course, the Schlatter is going to start coming out. And that's where things get really scary. If you thought... Oh, man. You know what? Let's talk a little bit Age of Empires 3 again. If you thought the Cuirassier from Age of Empires 3 was scary, you ain't seen nothing. Actually, no, they were pretty scary. I wouldn't want those in. Could you imagine the Cuirassier in the Age of Empires 4? We kind of have it, but I guess it just doesn't work the same way. It doesn't have that same level of oomph. Nice little combo that's come through here from Demo. It does have archers up now. Fortress is getting rushed up by Crackety. So Crackety is putting a 4th landmark down. He is losing villages slowly one by one, but back towards the enemy. The Trebs are now sitting in the middle. You can see he wants to try and take them out. Spear's doing a beautiful job of controlling this down. Treb's going to fire off. Kill a single archer and injure this guy kind of badly. He's gonna need stitches after that, but oh, Crackety making the most obvious decision, or not most obvious bad decision, but fortunately Demo not capitalizing on it. Doesn't bother taking out the Trebs, and now we've only got 1 to go. This is it, 9 out of 10, everything you've been waiting for. Everything comes down to this right now. 93 military population with 8 on siege. They're kind of irrelevant for that military count, but I guess they're still kind of important. I'd be bringing Vils. I would be bringing Vils right now, but you can see double fortress being rushed up. Demo realizes at the last second, he's like, oh my lord, hold on a minute. I gotta get some more fortresses up. Don't mind if I do. 1 over here, another 1 over there. Where's the 3rd one? I don't even know where the 3rd one is. I know that there's 2. There it is. There's the 3rd one. So we've got time here. How many is building this? 7's building this? Oh, the traps! Oh, it's gonna happen! Look at the timer! Ain't no way! Ain't no way! You gotta left click. You just gotta left click the town center. Call the truck. Call the trailer. Call everybody. 7 to go on this one. 8 to go on this one. It's gonna be a race, but I think he's gonna make it. I think he's gonna be okay. It looks like, for the moment, Crackety not going to commit 100%. 9 out of 10. Sorry, Crackety. We're going to have to edit those numbers. 9 out of 12! Crackety's going to be crying, dude. He's going to uninstall the game for this one as well. Oh, you know what's going to Welcome to the Knights Templars! Don't worry. We warned the devs when they said we're going to do this. They did not heed our warning. Oh, my lord. Can you believe it, dude? And you know the best part is Behind this, Demu's just chilling out. He's just massing up his cav. He's getting his upgrades in. He says, oh, I'll get some Tithe Barns. The Schlatter on the field now as well. He's up to 10 of them. 14 about to come out. The Trebs, you can see, we're not even close to taking this town center out. I think he probably could have got there if he brought everybody. If all of the units went in. The trouble is, if you bring all the units in, then the Trebs are exposed, and you don't really want to do that. Because if you leave the Trebs exposed, then they'll die very quickly, and then if you lose your army, then you've got no way to win. And this is his only way to win this game, is through these Trebs together with this army. 114, 115 military pop, so still sitting at about double what Demu is right now. But Demu's got a lot of upgrades. You got to keep that in mind. 9 out of 13, they just keep popping up. They just keep popping up, and this is the trouble. This is what makes it so damn hard. And honestly, I don't know how you fix this. I don't know if it's worth fixing. I don't know if it's just one of those things where it's like, yep, that's just how it goes. I'm kind of curious what your opinions are on this, though. Do you think this is healthy? The fact that anytime, like, if we think about landmarks, right? If we think about victory conditions, what are some of the ways that you can, like, win through a victory condition? Number 1, you can win through sacred sites. Number 2, you can win through a wonder. And number 3, you can kill all of the enemy's landmarks. Well, imagine if I told you that there was a civilization that just couldn't lose to a sacred victory. Like, it didn't matter how many sacred sites you captured and how long you held them, they just couldn't, they couldn't lose to a sacred victory. Like, they were just these religious, like, imagine they introduced the Vatican and they said, yeah, their special ability is that they can't lose to a sacred victory because they're just so holy. You'd be like, that's crazy. Welcome to the Knights Templar, except it's for landmarks. You cannot lose with landmarks. Anyway, archer number looking very, very healthy here for Demu. You can see these Trebs still trying to work down this town center. But keep in mind, we've got Castle Age units against Imperial Age units. Some of the best in the game, the Schlatter right here, 374 damage. They're not even upgraded yet, dude. There's no biology on these bad boys. It's coming through now. That's going to give him another extra 140 health. And now the crossbow is going to be necked for breakfast here as these archers just continue to melt through. He's got +3 on the attack. No incendiary arrows just yet, but with the Trebs going down and the economy for Crackety here still sitting on that one town center, it feels almost certain that he's out of gas. That was it. Demu bought himself enough time. And I think what's kind of interesting is the fact that these didn't even end up mattering, right? Like, the extra fortresses didn't even matter because the town center was just getting repaired, which is a whole, I mean, that's not really another issue. Is that an issue? Maybe that's an issue. It's probably not an issue. We're not so much here to identify issues. We're more just here just to watch and enjoy as two players smash each other to pieces multiple times with big armies and big defenses and, oh, that's not going to work. Oh, that's not going to work. So that's not going to work. Let's see how it goes, though. Sometimes it can work if they get there on the same frame. That is not the same frame, unfortunately, and as a result, that fortress is not going to be working today. Is that what could do it? The Teutonic Order. See, this is the trouble that I've got, right? This is what I can't really reconcile with. It doesn't really matter what Crackety does here because he's down 50 vils, right? Like, and I think that's the crux of the trouble. Is that I always go back to the TCs, man. I always go back to the TCs. How do you do it? How do you overcome Mount Improbable? Even with the Teutonic Order. Like, and can I just say, I love the fact that we are seeing the Teutons, and I wish that we saw them more. And I can imagine in a fair game, maybe they would stand more of a chance. But at this stage, Crackety, it feels like JoJo's hit single from 2006 just keeps playing in my head. 2006? 2004, maybe? You know it's just a little too late. It's a good song, good song. Check it out. I'll leave a link down below. Not really. You can search for it yourself. Go on, do it. Do it, you maniac. Go have a listen. It's good. It's good quality. That really encompasses the 2000s perfectly. Now the numbers continue to look even better for Demu here. He's at 200 out of 200. Decent sized army as well. Keep in mind behind this, the Pilgrims continue to pop. He's got plenty of them. Only 92 gold though, so not a huge amount. I don't know why he's running here. He could be running further. And now over to the next fortress. 4 fortresses on the one side against 3 on the other. I love that he's 9 out of 14 landmarks. But as I said, I really want to just go back to that question. Do you think this is a problem? Or is this just, this is okay? I'm genuinely curious, like, what people feel like. Because there's a part of me that kind of feels bad for Crackety here. And a little bit for Crackety there. And a little bit for Crackety over there. And especially a little bit bad for Crackety over here. There's a lot. There was a lot. Now, finally, the Teutonic Knights are coming out. You can see they're doing a decent amount of debuffing, but unfortunately, they do get taken out by these large mass. The Pilgrim's going to do their best as well to represent. But unfortunately, they get the eaten alive. They do get the armor buff, so there's that they've got going for them here. But even the Teutonic Knight, not going to do it. You can see that they are turning the tide slowly. Like, with the Genitors on the back as well, helping out. They're getting work done. I do like this combo, but behind this, Demu's economy is just pumping. Unit numbers continuing to look good. Horsemen now coming out, going to hit this back line. You can see how squishy those Genitors are. And that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Crackety here becomes Crackety there. And, well, Demu takes the victory. Incredible game, but at the same time, really, wow. Like, that was just absurd. From the proxy all the way to the fortresses. Anyway, we'll leave it there. I'll leave links in the description, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.